All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Raw feed. Tonight, we are going to be going through a lot of the news that I've been browsing today in a new format. Just wanted to test some stuff out and bring you guys into the feed as well. We got a lot of news to cover and a lot of clips. We've got this crazy story about all this money that Kamala Harris has been raising all of a sudden. Wow. Wonder why. And where is it coming from? We've got some new ads that have been released by the Trump campaign. Just so much is happening, of course, with President Trump meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu, which is a huge development. Reports are coming in that he is just going to outflank Biden, Biden and Harris, or Harris and Biden, however we want to play it now. We now have proof of life for Joe Biden, which is going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. Of course, with all of the rumors that were floating around last night, yes, Joe Biden survived the night. So there's a lot to get into tonight, and I do want to bring in the live chat and see what is going on. People are saying, turn up your mic, audio. They can't hear me. All right, let's see if we can get that audio. Look at that. Look at there's the feed. No audio. Test one, test two, test one, test two. Rolling Thunder, what's up? Thank you. Running Bears in the house. Cheryl's in the house. Pulani's in the house. Jamie P. Audio's good, she says. He says, she says. Turn up your mic more. Audio is good. Okay, so we're just trying to work out some of the kinks here. This is just a new format, so you guys are getting to see it as best as possible. So we're going to work through some of these. And we've got some new features we're going to be incorporating. I've been bookmarking all kinds of news and information as it comes in. So this is all real time. You're going to get the latest up to the minute news as it happens. I really, what spurred this on today was, we were up so late last night and I was just totally burned out. I'm like, I want to try something different. And I just wanted to bring in the work that I was doing all day and present it to you in real time. And then, of course, get the real time updates from the feed itself. So, Brian, if you want to bring up the feed here, we can show everybody. Rolling Thunder, nice upgrades. Outdoor janitor, I use a hearing aid. I like your casual attire. What's up, Angie? There's my girl right there. What's up? Lesson from the last couple weeks. Vote, vote, vote. I hear you. Goggles. Okay. God bless you. Global News Wars. What's up? Arlen, thank you for joining, and everyone, please make sure you share the feed so you can see how many people. So this is all totally new. You can see how many people are watching on Rumble up in the corner there. You can see how many people are watching on X and on YouTube. Where did the other article go? I didn't. That was really quick. I didn't see what it all said, but you'll be able to see everyone's chat messages, your messages showing up on the feed, as well as what I've got here. So I've been bookmarking all these news stories for you guys today. And as you can see in the screen right there, this is actually a live look at my cell phone. So we've got it all linked up and we're connected. It took a lot of work to sort out these technology scenarios today, but we got it worked out and it's pretty exciting. So the big story right now is everyone's talking about all this money, all of a sudden this massive influx of money that has come into the now Kamala campaign. We don't know who her VP pick is. We can get into that later, some of the speculation as to who is actually being vetted as her selection. But what's really interesting is that, as a lot of people have pointed out, Kamala Harris has never received one vote. Never received one vote, not even in the primaries. And all of a sudden now she is the top of the ticket for the presidential election. It's absolutely bizarre. So where is all this money coming from? Well, you can see right here on your screen. This is what's interesting. A Swiss billionaire, apparently. This is from a tweet from Tony Saruga. An interesting connection. This person apparently lives in Wyoming, has ties to the shooter in some capacity. I'm not sure exactly how. Also has ties to the Maui police chief. And the same individual who was the commander of the Las Vegas event, that horrible event years ago. Now this person is claiming that this individual, that Las Vegas gunman, and it's just crazy. This is who is making all these donations. The Harris campaign is already using ActBlue, $20 million from this individual known as Hans-Jörg Weiss, a Swiss billionaire, broken down into over you ready for this? $20 million broken down into 1.6 million donations. 1.6 million individual donations across 400,000 donors. The scale of fraud that is now being alleged is mind-blowing to consider. How do you go ahead and launder that much money? 1.6 million donations across 400,000 donors. Now, I remember James O'Keefe, he covered this. That there was, we did a story on this some time ago about how all of these ghost donors suddenly, these people start making these small donations, $20 here, $15 there, and in massive quantities. And that's how they're bringing all this money into the campaign. So you can see, it's kind of hard to see the actual tweet itself, but this is the tweet. Now that tweet has 1 million hits on it. Okay, so in the same tweet, he attaches this picture. It took us no time to find a New Orleans resident who is listed as not employed, but nevertheless donated to ActBlue 847 times between January 4th of 2021 and December 31st of 2022, in amounts ranging from $1 to $100 for a total of $18,000+. And as you can see on the screen, there it is. That is the picture of the house listed and the address where those donations originated. This is the Google map view. Nobody who lives in the house and is listed as not employed has $18,000 to give to ActBlue over a 2-year period in that house. So this is the big story right now. All of a sudden, Kamala Harris, she's being coronated as the new head of the ticket for the Democrat Party. Now, I was warning about, I had a conversation with someone, I was warning them about this honeymoon period. Okay? A honeymoon period that is happening. Let me try to explain this. You have a candidate suddenly surged into the campaign, and everyone's excited. Everyone's like, "Oh yes, new blood! We're so excited! Who is this person? Yay! Whoever it is." And they just fall in love at that moment. with the new candidate. Now, we don't have much time to vet whatever that candidate may be. So it puts us in a defensive posture, because now we've got to figure out what's the angle of attack. And of course, as you've seen in some of our past reports, the Trump campaign, the GOP, has already started to establish some of the new campaign ads to go after Kamala Harris. But the honeymoon period is the most dangerous period. And by bringing Kamala in the middle of the honeymoon period, what happens? They're going to have this artificial bump in the polls. Everyone's just giddy over the reality of this new candidate. So what the Democrats are trying to do is run out this clock, run out this honeymoon period clock, so they can reinvigorate their base and bring them into the fold. And everyone goes, oh, wow, now we got a new candidate now. Oh, this is Kamala Harris. I mean, they're already using viral videos and memes to try to prop her up as some kind of hip and fresh candidate. But you and I know better that she is the architect of destruction. Okay, look at the border. How many reports have we done on the border? It's actually getting like background noise, because it's like there's so many stories of the millions and millions of people and the tragedies that have unfolded. How many tragedies? How many people have died already because of these illegals coming across the border? It's disgusting. But this is where we are. And they're going to try to pretend it's not happening. But it's our job, it's your job, to continue to remind the American people that we need to have a orderly entrance into this country. I'm not against immigration in any sense at all. But we need to have an orderly flow of people. You can't just have 14, 20 million people just bum rushing the border. You don't have a country at that point. And Kamala Harris has been at the helm as the so-called border czar. Mary says, I think whoever decides to be Kamala's VP will ultimately kill their own political future. Yeah, Mary, that's what people are saying. Because what happened, think about what Mary brings up here. She brings up a good point. Is that when you have somebody that shows up on that ticket and that ticket loses, then what? They're just political dead weight. They've got an X in their resume as a loss. So we'll have to wait and see who they're going to pick. And we've got some messages to go through as far as that's concerned. So it's great to see everybody here tonight. Wow, take it easy, get well soon. Bait and switch, here comes Hillary. Yes, there has been some talk about that. Strange Marvel says, keep bringing us the truth. Madeline, can hear you loud and clear. Okay, so let's get jumping back into, okay, this is Colin Rugg. This is a video that he put out about 13 hours ago. Okay, now this is good. This is Grant Cardone. Now the screen is blocked, so let's see if we. Okay, so who exactly donated? Ready for this? Now the reports are now $100 million. I'm getting text messages from the Trump campaign. $100 million all of a sudden just injected into that campaign. Grant Cardone, 15 hours ago. So who exactly donated $81 million in 24 hours for the same nominee that never broke 1% in the polls when she was running? And you guys don't believe elections can be stolen? Think about the coordination that is required. As I brought up earlier, when you have how many? 1.6 million donations spread across $400,000. Think about the sophistication that is required from a technical standpoint to distribute that kind of money across all those people. This is a highly sophisticated effort to mask donations. This is huge. When you think about, okay, when I ran a super PAC for Congressman Ron Paul, supporting Congressman Ron Paul back in 2012. And we used different software to bring in donations. And it was very sophisticated software, but we had to report every single donation. And there are strict limits as to the amounts that individuals can donate. So, yes, you could go ahead and give to a super PAC. Like, why couldn't this guy, whoever this person is, donating just to the super PAC and let the super PAC do the heavy lifting? That's what we did. We got massive donations. $50,000 checks from people down in Texas supporting our efforts for Ron Paul back in the day. And that was completely legal. So why the need to mask that volume of cash across so many donations, across so many 400,000 donors? Do those people even know? They're trying to pull the wool over your eyes and the Federal Election Commission. Yes, so am I. So am I, Brian. Okay, let's get back into this here. Okay, we've got some news on the cell phone data. Mario Nafal. This is really interesting about the shooter. We got some cell phone body camera footage that's now been released that raises even more questions about what happened that day in Butler. It's actually mind blowing. I mean, when you see this body camera footage, holy cow. Okay, now one of my favorite accounts that I follow is RNC Research. This is the DNC chair, Jamie Harrison, claims the coup to install Kamala Harris as their nominee is the most transparent and fair process ever, despite the fact that Harris has never received a grand total of 0 votes for president ever. Let's run this clip right
puts this nominee. Listen, in essence, we have rules for situations in like the one that we're in now, and we are utilizing those rules, which basically puts this nomination process in the hands of the delegates that were selected, based off of the elections that happened over the course of the last few months. Listen, in essence, we have rules for situations in like the one that we're in now, and we are utilizing those rules, which basically...
We have rules. We have rules. Yeah, they're following the rules, aren't they? Just to cast aside all the millions of primary voters and just install who they pick, who they want. Rob Blagojevich, we covered a story in one of our stories yesterday. Maybe it was this morning. Rob Blagojevich, former governor of Illinois, my state, says this is textbook Chicago machine politics, Democrat machine politics. And who's from Chicago? Can you tell me? Chat? Who's from Chicago? You guys know exactly who's from Chicago. Pulling the strings behind the scenes. We've been covering this for weeks. So, I want to make sure everything's still working along here. Okay, and of course, another big story today was the Secret Service director, after getting absolutely humiliated yesterday. That hearing, we covered it. Holy cow. She got roasted. And the beautiful thing about that hearing yesterday is that it was bipartisan. Democrats and Republicans actually coming together and calling for her resignation. Well, she resigned today. But in my opinion, that's not good enough. There are some serious questions that need to be answered about that day. She couldn't answer any of them. Any of them at all. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, 13 hours ago, on her last day on the job in GOP oversight, Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle participated in a cover-up of the assassination attempt of Donald Trump. Cheadle has resigned, but she may face criminal investigation for her role on 7/13 and her response in the days after. She had no answers. 9 days later, she had no answers. She couldn't even provide a timeline of events. The radio communications, they don't have a record. Now, of course, there's a lot of theories that are floating around. It's actually dizzying when you try to connect all the dots. We have presented some. If you go follow us on X, you'll see some of the theories that we put together. Eric says Kamala reminds me of a laughing hyena. MSM liars, Stonewall. That's what it is. It is a Stonewall. That's what they're doing. Okay, so this whole stream, it might seem a little disjointed because what I've done is I've bookmarked a lot of information, and I'm just going to go through the feed as it is. It's going to be totally raw. That's why we call it the raw feed. But I just started following this account, and I really like. I started actually following this account after the rumors started floating that Biden wouldn't make the night, that he was in hospice care. So I as I'm going through the feed, and I've really become more or less addicted to this new app since Elon took over. But this guy Tony was saying, listen, there's other things happening behind the scenes, claims to have inside knowledge. But what he says here is they are planning the largest, most in-your-face election steal in the history of the world, and they don't care if you know it. Any challengers will be treated to the mother of all lawfare and an eventual long-term stay in the Gray Bar Hotel. This is a communist takeover of America, and they are winning. They actually have convinced half the country they're saving the democracy they loathe. Substitute the word communism for democracy, and everything they say will make more sense. Why do you think they oppose paper ballots, voter ID, same-day voting, and will not even entertain a bill banning non-citizens from voting? I mean, the writing's on the wall. You guys know as well as I do. It's laughable when they come forward and they say, "Oh, asking for ID is racist." Meanwhile, you have to have an ID to do anything. If you want to buy a pack of cigarettes, if you want to go to the bank, if you want to do anything, get on a plane, you have to show ID. Right? How many times have you gone through a TSA checkpoint and had to show ID? Is that racist? Absolutely not. It's a matter of national security. Yeah, and now, of course, you have to have the real ID with its special star in the corner. Brian, can they hear you? Okay, there's Brian. He figured it out. Okay, so what else have we got going on here? Okay, so this is the I want to get to the ad. This is the ad. Oh man, this is crazy. Let's play this ad. This was presented 14 hours ago on Alex Jones' Twitter account.
Border security.
And this is about it's a minute and 18 seconds. So let's watch this together. Bring it down a little bit. Okay.
If you thought Joe Biden was radical, just wait until you get to know Kamala Harris. She's dangerously liberal.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. For far too long, the status quo thinking has been to believe that by putting more police on the street, you're going to have more safety. And that's just wrong.
You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border.
We're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct.
People who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
Abolish ICE. Yeah. Is that a position that you agree with?
Listen, I think there's no question that we've got to critically re-examine ICE, and we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's new darling of the party. She 60 Minutes this weekend proudly calling herself a radical, and she's promoting policies like saying that every single carbon emission in the country, every car, should be eliminated within the next 11 years, everything from a 70 to 80% tax rate. Do you agree that she could possibly, in this ideology of the socialist left, could splinter your party?
No, you know, I think that's fantastic.
Paid for by Make America Great Again, Inc. Okay, so that's one of the ads that has just been dropped. Okay, here's another piece. What, Brian? Because normally I have it down here. Is that better? Okay. Oh, let's see. Colin Rugg, 14 hours ago. Biden was blackmailed into dropping out of the race after top Democrats threatened to remove him from office with the 25th Amendment, according to the New York Post. It's becoming clear that the coup was a well-orchestrated plan by Democrats. Biden's June, yes, okay, this is something that, a point I've been wanting to make for you guys. He sums it up perfectly. Biden's June debate appeared to be a setup so Democrats could forcibly remove Biden in time to get a new candidate. Now, we've been talking about timelines here at Next News. The virtual nomination process, the actual DNC, which is going to be in Chicago, it's going to be an absolute mess. See, they need to present this facade of unity when they're all there at the United Center celebrating. I mean, will they even have American flags there? I mean, think about that. They'll probably have more rainbow flags than anything. It's going to be drag queens and pronouns. That's what the Democrat National Convention is going to be. So Biden's June debate appeared to be a setup so Democrats could forcibly remove Biden in time to get a new candidate. According to Politico, Nancy Pelosi threatened Biden if he refused to drop out of the race. Nancy made clear that they could do this the easy way or the hard way. She gave them 3 weeks of the easy way, and it was about to be the hard way. That's according to a source reporting to Politico. The hard way appears to have been the 25th Amendment. Biden's own staff didn't even know that he was dropping out until they read his letter on X, which was apparently digitally signed. But was it even digitally signed by him? Go back, look at our last report we did on this. Those signatures don't even line up with all of the signatures he's placed on executive orders. Don't even line up at all. Now, listen to this. Listen to this next. This is a clip because Rugg is asking the question, did this plan go back even further? Back in 2020, Pelosi unveiled legislation that would allow Congress to intervene under the 25th Amendment to remove the president. She assured the public at the time that the legislation was not for Trump. Ready for this?
President Trump. This is not about President Trump. He will face the judgment of the voters. But he shows the need for us to create a process for future presidents. The 25th Amendment creates a path for preserving stability if a president suffers a crippling physical or mental problem and is, quote, in the amendment, unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office and transfers his powers. Specifically, Section 4 of the amendment empowers Congress to set up an independent body.
Wow.
to confront such a crisis. Congress has a constitutional duty to lay out the process by which a president's incapacity and the president of any party is determined. This bill honors the duty by creating a standing commission of top former executive officials and medical experts selected in a bipartisan, bicameral way. A president's fitness for office must be determined by science and facts. This legislation applies to future presidents, but we are reminded of the necessity of action by the health of the current president. This is not about President Trump.
It's not about President Trump. Well, who's it about then, Nancy? 2020? Definitely about Joe Biden. See, they knew. We all knew. Everybody knew. And the media covered it up. The politicians covered it up. Kamala covered it up. They all knew that his health, his cognitive abilities were in rapid decline. So this was her insurance policy, that they were getting ready to execute the 25th Amendment to remove him. That was the threat. And what did he do? Rather than be completely and further humiliated on the global stage by having the Congress and the cabinet step forward and declare you unfit. I mean, think about what happened with the her tapes that were never released, and Joe Biden's own classified document scandal. In that investigation, he said he's not even fit to stand trial. Yeah. So, he's not fit to stand trial. He's not fit to lead the country. The evidence was mounting. It was inescapable. And of course, then you had that debate, which was clearly the turning point. See, when that debate happened, you had it was undeniable. You could not hide the truth any longer. The whole world was watching. From the moment he stepped out onto that stage, I knew it was over. The moment he opened his mouth, I knew it was over. But it was really over when that debate ended. And every single CNN panelist, what did they do? They all turned on Biden. It's like they all got the phone call, guys, get ready after this debate. It's time to go. It's time to throw Biden under the bus. And the momentum has been building to a crescendo point ever since. And of course, you have Jill, you have Hunter. They're all, clinging onto power. Jill loves that spotlight. She loves being that first lady, to the point where she even made her own. She instructed them to make a song for the first lady. Anytime the first lady walks out, she's got her own music. You know, the song Hail to the Chief when the president walks out. Everybody knows it. But Jill wanted her own. And of course, Hunter, he's got his own problems. Dad, can you pardon me? You know that's coming. It's only a matter of time for the pardon. It's probably going to be one of those last-minute pardons right before he leaves office. Oh, pardon my son. I mean, wouldn't you? If that was your son in so much trouble and you were the president, you had the power, I'm sure you'd probably do the same thing. But that's why he needs to hold on to that power, and he needs to maintain the office of the presidency, but step down as a candidate. You follow me? So this has been in the works for a long time. And speaking of long time, I do want to just quickly give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Global Gold Investments. Gold prices have surpassed $2,400 an ounce this year, reflecting a weakening U.S. dollar. As countries consider abandoning the OPEC agreement and U.S. dollar holdings, our national debt exceeds $36 trillion. Central banks are buying gold to protect the reserves, signaling average Americans to do the same. Protect your wealth with Global Gold Investments, America's leading conservative precious metals dealer. They offer a 5-year IRA fee waiver program on qualified rollovers and exceptional customer service. Call the number 888-700, you see it on the screen, 4148, and receive a free portfolio analysis and the 2024 Insure Your Money Wealth Preservation Guide. Mention Next News for VIP treatment. You could also visit IRAGoldproof.com to begin securing your financial future. So we're very thankful for our sponsors who keep this show going. And of course, you guys keep this show going with all the donations you have been sending. My heart swells every single time I get a PayPal notification or I get a Give, Send, Go notification. People are giving to support the work that we're doing here day in and day out. As you may know, we had to lay off about 99% of our staff after we got demonetized. We're still demonetized. So it's only because of sponsors like this and donors like you that are keeping us alive. So I want to thank you for that. Okay, let's get back to the... Okay, no, thank you, Nancy. We already heard you already. Okay. Oh, this was funny. This is another... if you have sensitive ears or children in the area, you may not want them to hear this, but I thought this was great. C3P meme, another account that I follow, had this hilarious video.
These bastards made me drop out. You know, they said I must endorse Kamala for president. I believe she's more of an idiot than I am. So tonight, I'm asking every American to vote for Trump. To make America great again. Think about it. Now listen to your bitches. Throw me one of those MAGA hats. Vote Trump and make America great. You know the thing.
The Dilly meme team. You gotta love those guys. Okay. Now I'm not going to get into this thread. Okay, so 11 hours ago, breaking 4 news. We're going back into the health angle. And this is what really kicked off a lot of the conversation regarding the overnight rumors that Biden wasn't going to make it through the night. And I'm talking about this scoop. Breaking 4 news, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Now this was being widely disseminated across a lot of different accounts. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department responding to reports that they assisted the U.S. Secret Service in facilitating an urgent, clear route for President Biden's motorcade to UMC Hospital on July 17th. And this is the statement that they actually gave to Breaking 4 News. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department was notified that President Joe Biden was sick on July 17th during his visit to Las Vegas. We did not know the nature of the illness. As a precaution, Las Vegas PD proactively began to shut down roads leading to UMC Hospital. Secret Service then advised Las Vegas PD the president was going directly to Harry Reid International Airport and would be leaving Las Vegas. So a lot of people were speculating that in that moment that Joe Biden had a mini stroke. Laura Loomer, she was posting about the medical emergency that was transpiring during these moments. And then, of course, Joe Biden comes down with COVID and hadn't been seen for days. And then there was that phone call that he made into the event, that event that he had with Kamala. Go back and watch the video. I mean, watching Kamala's face. In fact, the thumbnail of this video is the moment where she is telling Joe that I'm going to put you on hold for a minute, Joe. Pure disdain. She cannot wait for that guy to disappear by any means necessary. She doesn't care. She just wants the spotlight, and now she's got it. but how long will she actually have it? How long is this honeymoon period going to last with the American voters? That's the dangerous question. And it's the game the Democrats are playing. They are hoping that the honeymoon period will last up until the election day. And now there's a lot of different polls that are floating around too. We've been covering some of the polls, and these polls are saying that Trump is like just stomping Kamala by double digits. I think it's going to be his double that speaks tomorrow night. Now, it's going to be a deep fake is what it's going to be. Brian, can you bring that up in studio mode, full screen, so I can see better? I lost my train of thought. Oh, the polls. So the polls are out. We covered some of them in a previous report where Kamala is getting just trounced by Trump by double digits. And other polls are coming out and saying that the margin is about 2 points. Trump's in the lead by 2 points. And one of the things that we brought up in some of our previous reporting was that the margin of error, the margin of the gap between Biden and Trump had grown too large. Now, you may have heard the phrase that's been thrown around a lot that it has to be too big to rig. The margin has to be too big to rig. So when Trump starts getting massive leads in all these early states and swing states, the margin of fraud has to overcome that and make it seem believable. And when you have that margin of fraud that they can't overcome, they can't steal the election. But now, according to some of the polls that they're going to keep parroting on CNN and MSNBC, the margin is now 2 points, depending on which polls you're looking at. But of course, the mainstream media is going to pick those polls because it favors their narrative and their agenda. So here's what happens next. They keep reporting that the margin is only 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. And then we have a repeat of 2020. Overnight, ballots showing up. And it's not impossible to think that they would go ahead and do that again. They don't care. They claim they're playing by the rules, but whose rules are they really playing by? So I've got some information on those polls here in a second. Okay, let's go back to that donation scandal that's happening. Nova Campaigns, you see it right there on the screen. I hope you're able to see that enough. This individual living in Richmond, 79 years old, renting an apartment for less than $2,000 a month. Allegedly has, ready for this? Has made 22,619 Democrat donations since 2019 for $839,000 over 592 days. Nova Campaigns calls this utter fraud and ID theft through Act Blue. Yet $1,000 likely legit for the state Virginia GOP donations. But I mean, this is insane. So these are what they believe to be actual donations for a Republican of $940. $450 to Youngkin, $230 to Cox, $125 to Sears, etc., etc. But then that same person making 22,000 other donations to Democrats? Okay, how does one even accomplish that feat? They're saying it's ID theft. They're going in, they're using that person's account, and then they're attaching, another credit card or something, making all these donations. It's insane. So when everyone's talking about, oh, Kamala Harris, she made $100 million. Yay, look at this. Look at the memes everyone's talking about. What is it? It's AstroTurf. Just like what happened today. Let me get this up here. Brian, you don't got to cut it yet. I want to bring up what happened in, where is it? We have proof of life. We have the gymnasium. This is what I want to show you. Okay. Okay, here it is. Bring it up. This is Brian Krasenstein. I'm sure you guys have heard of him before. He's gloating over the footage you're seeing right here. Since MAGA cares so much about crowd size, this should be quite chilling to you all. Kamala Harris in Wisconsin today. How many of those people were union that had to be bussed in there? That's what they do. It's all AstroTurf. It's all AstroTurf. It is to give the appearance of support. And it could also be part of this honeymoon effect. Kamala Harris, the new candidate, right? What do you say, Don?
ISIS has spread like cancer. Another mess I inherited.
Yeah. So Jack Lombardi responded to this post. Half of a high school gymnasium. Half. So while Brian Krasenstein is celebrating this video on his Twitter account, the reality is Donald Trump's crowds dwarf this in comparison. You guys know that they bust these people in. They've been doing it for years. They get the union people to come out, and they all give them signs. They stand there. They show up because it's all part of the union gig. Democrats control a lot of the unions, but of course, there's a lot of unions that are flipping over for Trump now. Owen Schroyer, 1 hour ago. Multiply this by 20 and you have a Trump rally. Oh, wow. Let's see. It's a freaking high school gymnasium, Trumpville stadiums. You guys are desperate to create enthusiasm that really doesn't exist outside of your bubble. And then Krasenstein replies, you do realize that our campaign started 2.5 days ago, right? Yeah. I don't get what's the point? Brian, what's your point? The fact, the only point, what, Brian? Yeah. Well, no, my Brian. Yes, 2.5 days ago the campaign started. And all you got to do is pick up a phone call and say, fill that gymnasium with union reps, union members. Send out some emails, right? And, of course, compound that with the honeymoon effect. So what he's saying here is irrelevant, completely irrelevant. American Papa Bear, the excitement will fade and people will remember that Kamala is Kamala. Krasenstein says that's what Republicans want to think. Good luck with that. He brings up the money. See, this is all an illusion. This is what is happening with this gymnasium, with the money. He says here, I'm not saying it matters. It's a microcosm of a nation. The amount of money she's brought in 48 hours certainly does, though. You see how it ties together? You have some billionaires having their money spread out across all these different accounts. And then the media goes and reports it. Look at how much money she raised. Oh, look at the gymnasium. And then this schmuck goes on Twitter and says, but look at the money she raised. It is all fabricated for the illusion of support. He keeps going on. It's a high school gym, guys. Someone says here, Lolo says, a high school gym that seats max 2,500 people versus a stadium that seats 25,000 people that Trump fills to the rafters. And Trump's not calling up the unions and saying, come and fill these seats. Just like Bob Blagojevich said, it's a machine. It is a machine that they have in place for these moments to project the illusion of support. So the optics go out and the media parrots it, and then you got these Twitter debates going on. This guy says, I can count 15 real people. The rest all have their hands out looking for student debt forgiveness. Half a gym is not intimidating. Oh, okay, so we've got another ad here. Let's see what this one is. I haven't watched it yet, so is this? Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at this.
Senator. Kamala Harris is inspiring and very capable. The more people get to know her, they're going to be particularly impressed by her ability.
The nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator.
I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes.
What is the solution for voters in the fossil fuel industry?
Giving the workers an ability to transition. We're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct.
Raise your hand if you think it should be a civil offense rather than a crime to cross the border without documentation.
Abolish ICE. Yeah. Is that a position you agree with?
And we need to probably think about starting from scratch. Outdated, it is wrong-headed thinking to think that the only way you're going to get communities to be safe is to put more police officers on the street.
Would you support changing the dietary guidelines?
Yes.
The food pyramid. What for people?
Yes.
To reduce red meat specifically.
Yes.
People who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, people who are convicted of sexual assault, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation. We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
So for people out there who like their insurance, they don't get to keep it?
Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on. I am opposed to any policy that would deny any human being public health, period.
The more people get to know her, they're going to be particularly impressed by her ability.
We did it, Joe.
Kamala Harris is inspiring.
We did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. Oh, man. Brian, cue up one of those songs. I want everyone to hear it. If you haven't heard some of these songs, we got 3 different songs that we made. Maybe do that. Maybe do the Trump song first. I need to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Check out this song while I am gone. I'll be right back.
Momentum's building. Can you feel it in the air? 2024 is coming, and the people know it's fair. We gave Joe a chance, but his time is at an end. It's time to put a real leader. Economy's dying, inflation's too high. We need someone to fight for the little guy. Trump's the man with the proven track record. Joe says a lot, but his results are checkers. Sea to shining sea, the MAGA crowd will rise. We'll head to the polls, look Joe in the eyes, and say your days in office are about to expire. It's time for Trump to take us back to prosperity higher. Shoulders up. Trump to take us back to prosperity higher. Trump, it back the Senate too, and put old Joe back out to pasture as his term is through. Trump 2024, the choice could not be clearer. With Trump back in charge, a brighter future is nearer. Trump, he's gonna win it. No way that we're gonna let Joe Biden spin it. Get ready for an electoral landslide. As the Trump train rolls in with patriots on each side, we'll take back the House, we'll take back the Senate too, and put old Joe back out to pasture as his term is through. Trump 2024, the choice could not be clearer. With Trump back in charge, a brighter future is nearer. Trump, he's gonna win it. No way that we're gonna let Joe Biden spin it. Get ready for an electoral landslide. As the Trump train rolls in with patriots on each side, we'll take back the House, we'll take back the Senate too, and put old Joe back out to pasture as his term is through. Trump 2024, the choice could not be clearer. With Trump back in charge, a brighter future is nearer. Momentum's building. Can you?
Okay, we're back. You like that song? Yeah, we made that actually. Man, there's some really cool tools out there these days. That that entire song was made with AI. Can you believe it? Yeah. Let's check in with chat. What's chat going on? Let's see. Did President Trump really take the gold from the Vatican? I don't know about that. Need both DJT and the House and the Senate. Vote, vote, vote. Love the song, says Eric. Awesome song, says Justin. Just track the financial source at the person's bank, says Skyla. What a relief. Spooky. Crisco Oil Reed. How about that? Wow. So how are you guys liking this new format? Pretty cool? Kind of fresh, a little different. There's a phrase that needs to be put on a sign. If you vote blue, you vote communist. I'm not trying to cause problems. I didn't know Gary made this song. I'm not sure what that's about, but sounds like there's a little bit of drama going on in the chat. Brent Lee says, I don't like AI. It's creepy. Yeah, it certainly can be creepy. It certainly can. But if you know how to harness it, you can make it your bitch. Okay? Let me just tell you that. All right. Let's get back into the stories here we're talking about tonight. This would probably be a good time to bring up the... It's hot in here. It is hot in here. As summer approaches, AC bills are reaching record highs. 20 million households behind on power bills. Power companies show no sign of lowering prices despite the strain on customers. Slash your AC bills with this innovative mini AC unit that cools any room in minutes. Now, let me tell you, my AC has been busted, and this device on my nightstand has saved me. Okay? It's portable, perfect for home, office, or camping. Provides up to 25 hours of cold air. It's a lifesaver. Could be during heat wave and blackouts. Cost savings in the first month alone make it pay for itself. Visit easysummercool.com or click the link in the description for up to 60% off today. Enjoy a 60-day risk-free guarantee and fast USA shipping. So it is our sponsors that keep this show going, and we appreciate that. And I'm seeing a notice here about low bandwidth available, and so you may be seeing some buffering here. Hopefully it's not too much of a distraction. Let's get back into our news here. Okay, let's see here. We have, this was just 2 hours ago. This is from the Post-Millennial. Pete Buttigieg thinks Trump is afraid to debate Kamala. Now, before we play this clip, I want to make a point, and I brought this up on another report, that what my main concern is with Trump versus Kamala is how they're going to frame the debate. They already call Trump a misogynist and all these names. So having him debate Kamala, that's what they're going to say. Oh, he's just a bully. He's just, hating on women or whatever. And then I was reminded, well, you know what? He handled Hillary pretty well. But now Pete Buttigieg is making the claim he thinks that Trump is afraid to debate
as a prosecutor.
Well, and Donald Trump said today. That he does want to debate Vice President Harris, maybe more so than once. One of the issues that
only after backing out of the debate he already agreed to, though, right? Somehow
today he has an issue with doing it with ABC.
Right, but he didn't when he agreed to it in the first place, right? I think the interesting thing about this is what changed from when he said he was ready to do an ABC debate and when he now says he's not. ABC didn't change. Donald Trump didn't change. But there's a new candidate, and clearly he hesitates to debate her on the exact same terms that he thought
so you think
would
he's
be okay.
Scared to debate her?
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
Because I think she is going to be so effective, and she's going to lay bare his inability to talk about anything but himself and his past. I think what you'll see is two things that I'm excited for Americans to see. Yes, the contrast, the way, as she laid out very powerfully, she, as a prosecutor who has defended people from people like Donald Trump, is going to remind everybody about that record, but also a contrast in governing records. She's going to be, I think, very effective in reminding Americans that on issue after issue, they already agree with us. They already agree with her and Democrats. Americans agree with Democrats and disagree with Donald Trump on taxes and his agenda of tax cuts for the rich. They agree with Kamala Harris, Democrats, and disagree with Donald Trump on his removal of the right to choose in this country. And gun violence, marriage, you can go on down the list. I think she's very well positioned to remind Americans of that fact.
Well, and Trump also, and Donald Trump said today.
Yeah, well, Pete Buttigieg does not have to worry about any abortions. I don't think, again, this is a CNN talking point. Caitlin Collins, Pete Buttigieg is just, throwing out red meat to the audience, to all 12 people who are still watching CNN. Okay, so let's shift gears for a minute because I want to, well, I guess we have this too. Okay, since I'm not going to get to the assassination stuff just yet because we're still talking about the honeymoon. Citizens Free Press, just an hour ago, published a memo from a Trump pollster. This is exactly what I was talking about. The Harris honeymoon. Beware the Harris honeymoon in polling. It won't last. And this is what the Democrats are banking on. That this sudden surge in polling and donations and AstroTurf and gymnasiums is going to give this false sense of a surge in support. So let's take a deeper look at this message here. Let me see if I can turn it sideways. I'm not sure how this is going to affect. Okay. All right. So let's see if we can get this thing screened. I know it's difficult. This is all new. We're going to try and clean up some of the formatting, but so far this is what we got. This is from To Team Trump from Tony Fabrizio, dated July 23rd, regarding the Harris honeymoon. Many of you have heard me refer to the upcoming Harris honeymoon that I expect to see in the public polling over the next couple of weeks. As I've explained, the honeymoon will be a manifestation of the wall-to-wall coverage Harris receives from the mainstream media. This is exactly what I was just talking about. The coverage will be largely positive and will certainly energize Democrats and some other parts of their coalition, at least in the short term. So he's saying that the honeymoon is not going to last. This means we will start to see public polling, particularly national public polls, where Harris is gaining on or even leading President Trump. Obviously, the situation we find ourselves in today is totally uncharted territory and has no modern historical parallel. My friends, we are living in a moment in history. I was talking to a friend through text, my friend Tom, and he says, imagine telling yourself 10 years ago what we're witnessing right now. I couldn't have imagined it. Couldn't have imagined it. He says, he goes on to say, uncharted territory. But there are some things that haven't changed. Due to the events of the past 2 weeks, including our highly successful convention, President Trump has seen a bump in his numbers in a number of recent public polls. Not surprising, given that most candidates historically receive some type of bump. Given what has happened over the past couple of days and her impending VP choice, there is no question that Harris will get her bump earlier than the Democrat convention. This is what they're hoping for. The bump is likely to start showing itself over the next few days and will last a while until the race settles back down. The Democrats and the mainstream media will try to tout these polls as proof that the race has changed. But the fundamentals of the race stay the same. The Democrats deposing one nominee for another does not change voters' discontent over the economy, inflation, crime, open border, housing costs, not to mention concern over 2 foreign wars. Before long, Harris' honeymoon will end and voters will refocus on her role as Biden's partner and co-pilot. As importantly, voters will also learn about Harris' dangerously liberal record before becoming Biden's partner in creating historic inflation. She cast a deciding vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, the flood of illegal immigrants at our southern border, she's Biden's border czar, and migrant crime that is threatening our families and communities. She set illegals free who went on to commit violent crimes as a district attorney. So while the public polls may change in the short run and she may consolidate a bit more of the Democrat base, Harris can't change who she is or what she's done. So stay tuned. So the Democrats are hoping this honeymoon's going to last. And I didn't even read this yet. And you heard what I said earlier. This is exactly the game plan. The AstroTurf in the gymnasium, the donations, the squeeze up in the poll, all that stuff. The media is going to parrot these things and try to give the impression that she is surging and then she has a chance. But according to this pollster, the honeymoon will not last. And this is a confidential memorandum posted by Citizens Free Press. Okay, we have Nick Sorter releasing some close-up video of the assassination attempt. I guess we could play this now. I haven't seen this yet. Holy cow. I want to get that body camera footage. I'm going to show you that too. But let's roll this and see what this is all about. Oh,
Open fire. You can open fire. You can hear 8 shots, what sounds like 8 shots, followed by 2 counter sniper shots, including the kill shot from the Secret Service. Watch and listen. At one point, Thomas Crooks points his rifle at the eyewitness and those rally goers. This is what he told us about security on that day.
Definitely wasn't secure. I'm actually ex-military. One of the first things I noticed when we walked up, I'm like, none of us have been vetted. We're all along the fence. We all have view of the stage. We could see Trump.
John Grassley, the Senator Grassley just released video as well of body camera footage, which confirms that a local sniper took a photo of Thomas Crooks before the shooting.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Okay.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
Okay, so I'm going to scroll this back. This was from Senator Grassley posted this.
We all have view of the stage. We could see Trump.
John Grassley, the Senator Grassley just released video as well of body camera footage, which confirms that a local sniper took a photo of Thomas Crooks before the shooting.
Okay, now I'm going to get into my actual feed itself. So these are some things I bookmarked for you guys. But when I saw that footage, the body camera footage, since we're on the topic, I'm going to jump over to my profile because I did respond to. Okay, so this is the first thing that I noticed with respect to what happened. Okay, so here is the body. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the full body camera footage. But look at this. You'll notice when you watch the footage with me, the officer refers to this open window right there. Now, they had snipers in that window. Now, my response to this post, so we shot pictures rather than bullets from that window. They were in direct line of sight of Crooks. There's the window, and you will see, I'm going to play the video, you will see when they pan across just how close he was. I mean, this is just one camera turn on a body camera, and there's the body. And there's the window. There's the body, there's the window. And they're taking pictures? I mean, what? Isn't their job to protect the president? Not snap, selfies? What's going on here? Let's go take a look at the actual footage now.
So we don't know. So this is the guy that
yes, that they sent yes, Beaver County sniper scene and sent the pictures out. This is him.
Okay. All right.
Rifle's right there, obviously.
Got it. So the bike in the back. Is he on that bike?
We don't know.
We don't know. So
I
we're
don't know.
Just treating that as suspicious device.
Oh, 1 second. I believe the sniper that seen these and sent the pictures is right inside this building. Michelle, is Greg in there? All right, so if you go to that window that's open and yell for Greg, that's the sniper that sent the original pictures and seen him come.
Go walk over to that window and yell for Greg. Greg's the guy that took the picture. I mean, do you see the lunacy here? Snipers at eye level with Crooks, taking a picture of him. And then he climbs up on the roof. And were they just like hanging back from the window? They didn't look out the window?
The bike and set the book back down and then lost sight of him.
Okay.
He's the one that sent the pictures out. I don't know if you got the same ones I did.
I think
I
I
don't know.
did, yeah.
Can you guys hear this okay?
Original pictures and seen him come from the bike and set the book back.
Okay, so he saw him come from the bike. Apparently Crooks rode up on a bicycle. There's photographs of his bike in his backpack or something by a tree. And there's reports that they believe that he hid the AR-15 behind an air conditioning unit. And he had everything there staged in advance. Okay. So you're hearing the firsthand account as he saw him with the bicycle.
Down and then lost sight of him.
Okay.
He's the one that sent the pictures out. I don't know if you got the same ones I did.
I think I did, yeah. He's like got his glasses on and he's
So we had the picture of that.
I got that
okay,
picture,
and then
yeah.
this is his bike with the stuff. And our sniper seen him walking away from that, I believe.
Okay.
But he would be right inside that window. He's the one that physically seen this, sent the pictures, and called it out.
Okay, so and we have somebody detained, correct?
That I don't know.
People detained on this side. Our guy that was just up here told me that there's a guy detained who's the owner of the bike. And I said, no, I think that's the owner of the bike.
Yeah, basically when I got
We've been up here, so we wouldn't know that information.
We just hauled ass. We got over here.
Got it.
We hopped up over
Yeah, that's no problem. Is that all your stuff?
That was one of our
Yeah, so someone came up looking to treat him and
Yes.
Copy. Gas is off to the building, just so you know.
Thank you. Yeah, they do. I talked to the guy. Those people detained were filming. Maybe they were involved. Maybe they weren't.
Other than that, I haven't heard anybody.
Well, I think it's. The guys that saw them filming were like, oh, they were filming us, and then filming the guy up on the roof, and then filming us, and then when shots started firing, they tried to run away. It was like, isn't that what everybody would do that has a phone? I'm not saying they weren't involved, but you know what I mean? Like that.
It's up in the air right now, right?
Right. So I got no problem detaining them. But again, I'm just trying to detain those guys, find out what they know, who they are, whatever. I'm trying to get clear information to relay back to DC. We have one shooter deceased. I think we have 3 victims in the crowd.
I just heard him say water tower.
Trying to detain those guys, find out what they know, who they are, whatever. I'm trying to get clear information to relay back to DC. We have one shooter deceased.
What did he say?
I'm not saying they weren't involved, but you know what I mean? Like that.
It's up in the air right now, right?
Right. So I got no problem detaining them. But again, I'm just trying to detain those guys, find out what they know, who they are, whatever. I'm trying to get clear information to relay back to DC. We have one shooter deceased. I think we have 3 victims in the crowd. Did you guys hear that too?
I'm not sure.
So I heard 1 deceased, 2 life-flighted.
I know 2 helicopters just taken off.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know how many victims.
3 are deceased.
We have access to a drone. Where this water tower?
Any LE?
I will try to confirm.
In the van. Did he survive? Copy.
So we don't know. So this is the guy that.
Wow.
Yes, that they sent yes, Beaver County sniper seen and sent the pictures out. This is him.
Okay. All right.
I mean, so think about what's happening here. They were right there. How many feet is that away from the sniper? Either this is gross incompetence, or they let it happen, or they planned it. Let's since we're talking about this, let's go back and get back into the bookmarks, because this ties into Proud Elephant 5 hours ago. Senator Chuck Grassley has just deleted his recent post showing unseen police body cam footage from right after the Trump shooting. Who made him take it down? And that's what you just saw. Chuck Grassley, my office has obtained docs from law enforcement on July 13th assassination attempt of President Trump. I'm writing Secret Service Acting Director Rowe, DHS Secretary Mayorkas again to get badly needed answers and clarity. So he deleted the footage, but he had this follow-up tweet. And this is the letter that he presents with some type of a diagram of the grounds. Some more information here. It's blurry. You can't really make it out. This must be the full letter he's sending. Okay. Okay. Looks like articles of impeachment have already been filed against Kamala Harris. That's good. Okay, this goes back to the scandal. Yes, and the massive Yellowstone geyser at Biscuit Basin, massive eruption that happened today. Not going to get into the Kamala stuff, but I want to get back into. There's your proof of life of Biden. Front lines. There's Savannah, a thriving open black market in Queens, where illegal immigrants are buying IDs. Okay, let's see here. I'll get to. Okay, I hate to jump around like this, but this kind of goes back to what we were talking about before. I want to get to the more of the assassination stuff, but since we're right here and we were just talking about it, this is one of those polls right here. Trump 58, Harris 39. Okay, this is Quinnipiac, 19 points ahead. It's massive. And Zelensky changing his tune. Now says we have to end the war as soon as possible because he knows Trump is going to cut off the funding. Okay, where is that? Where is that? Okay, this is another poll. Donald Trump 65 to Harris 31. Massive. Where is that post? Here it is. New cell phone data. This is from the Gateway Pundit, Mario Nafal, releasing this. This was 22 hours ago. You guys may have heard this. Cell phone data shows frequent visitor to crooks in FBI building. Who was that person? Mobile ad data analysis by the Heritage Foundation Oversight Project revealed that someone who regularly visited Thomas Crook's Pennsylvania home also visited a building in D.C. near an FBI office. Analysis identified 9 devices linked to Crook's home and work. These findings suggest Crooks did not act alone in the assassination attempt on Trump. Despite the inquiry, Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle referred questions about Crook's potential accomplices to the FBI. How convenient. And these images show, I believe, these locations where individuals were going to. Holy cow. Okay, so we got the high school, work location, home location. Wow, they tracked all this data. The Arms Gunworks, where he purchased the bullets. This is huge. Look at all this. They tracked all this information. Unbelievable. There he is. So I don't personally believe. I mean, when we start to add up all this information, I don't believe that he acted alone. Man. So let's see. Let's jump into the actual feed itself and see what is happening. Okay, let's just check on the most most current stuff. Man, some of the vile information, vile videos, vile, not viral, vile videos of people shoot or missed. Unbelievable, disgusting. The face you make when you realize.
My name's Joe Biden. I work for Kamala Harris. I asked her to be my vice president because I knew I needed somebody smarter than me. My name's Joe Biden. I work for Kamala Harris.
She dropped out of the race, sir.
How are you feeling about Harris's campaign?
Can Harris beat Trump?
Can Harris beat Trump, Mr. President?
There's the salute. Don't fall. I'm proud of him though. He did make those stairs. He did. Oh, is the volume clipping? Was it too loud? Okay, I don't know. Every one of these volumes is different. Yeah. Okay, Rachel Wilson, 5 minutes ago. This is another photograph that's been circulating. And Biden posted this on the official presidential X account of him exiting. And his account says, it's great to be back at the White House. And Rachel Wilson says, you can't even tell who it is. Why didn't he give a press conference yet? Why are we only getting videos without him talking from far away? Has anyone seen him speaking on camera or up close? Oh, this is horrible. This is a horrible moment. This. Oh. 6.8 million views. RNC Research. CNN, nearly 4 in 10 Americans are worried about making ends meet in the Harris-Biden economy, a number in line with the early stages of the Great Recession. This is on CNN. Do we? Okay, fine.
They're expenses, whether it's groceries or car insurance or daycare, life is just a lot more expensive than it was a few years ago. Now, it's true the rate of inflation is down, but prices aren't down. They're still going up, just at a slower pace. And so that is why we're seeing that 39% of U.S. adults say that they worry most or all of the time that their family's income is not going to meet their expenses. 39%, that is up from late 2021, and that's roughly in line with what we saw in mid-2008 during the early stages of the Great Recession, whether it's groceries.
Oh, checking in with the chat. How's everyone doing there? Just reading in here, trying to see. Looks like we got some conversations going on in there. Ocean breeze salty. I'm so doomed. No gerb, no brakes on car. Expired inspection. Looks like Sure You and Sing to Me are having a little beef. Not sure exactly what that's all about. Jeremy just came out of surgery. Okay, I'm glad you're here. I hope you're okay. Steph, Gary, I'm great. Concerned, how are you? I'm doing fine, Steph. Thank you for asking. Let's see, where are we at now? Lara Trump. Okay, I'm not sure who Mike Singleton is. This was 16 hours ago. I can tell you just by the tone, this is probably a leftist. Senior executive at NBC Universal, Hollywood's ultimate insider, entertainment, pop culture, and lifestyle expert. And he is saying that this is insane. Lara Trump has a meltdown over Kamala Harris live on Fox News. Shall we see? 2.3 million views on this account, on this post. You and me, we'll judge if this is a meltdown or not.
We had to
co-chair. They just anointed Kamala Harris. She's received no vote. And when I mean no votes, I mean she was the first one out of the race. She never got a primary vote. Now they've anointed her as a leader. She didn't get any Democratic primary in this election as well. So what do you make of this? They said they were going to run on democracy, and this seems real democratic.
Lawrence, it is such a joke. Look at the other side. Oh, my gosh. We had to basically get a proof of life in a phone call from Joe Biden, the current president. I'll remind everybody, yesterday, whenever Kamala Harris went to that Wilmington campaign office, this is insane. Do they really think the American people want to vote for this party? This is what this party is doing to the country? Wow. You are exactly right, Lawrence. I'll remind the audience how the process is actually supposed to work here in America. These folks in Washington, D.C. actually work for us. We, the people, we are actually supposed to vote for them and elect them to these offices. And yet it appears a lot of people for a long time knew Joe Biden could not actually run this race and actually probably shouldn't be president of the United States right now. Some people might say that that June 27th debate with Donald Trump, which was obviously disastrous, maybe was the first step in pushing Joe Biden out. Then you had the press conference, the NATO press conference, where he stood up in front of, the country and really didn't seem to have it together. That may have been another step in pushing him out. And then it seems like whenever he wouldn't go out on his own accord, yeah, they had to threaten him. Right. And now they have coronated Kamala Harris. This is not democracy. She also dropped out before her own home state of California voted in 2019 because she was polling so low. Right. You contrast that with the other side, which is what we're offering on the Republican side. We have a proven candidate who actually delivered results for the American people, for whom people actually voted.
Co-chair, they just anointed Kamala Harris.
Meltdown? I wouldn't call it a meltdown. I would say it was passionate, but everything she said was spot on. Let's see what else is going on here. What the heck? Okay, 6 hours ago. Wow. Secret Service officials encouraging Donald Trump's campaign to stop scheduling large outdoor rallies and events. Wasn't that convenient? Secret Service is urging Donald Trump's campaign to avoid scheduling large outdoor rallies and other events with big crowds after the events of July 13th in Butler. Sources say Secret Service shared their concerns about large or outdoor rallies with Trump's campaign advisors. Now Trump's team is looking for indoor venues like basketball arenas that can hold thousands of people. According to someone close to Trump, the campaign isn't planning any large outdoor events at the moment. The Trump campaign spokeswoman declined to comment, and a Secret Service spokesman said the agency does not discuss its protective methods. Well, I mean, after what happened, people are saying that this is not these attacks are not going to stop. They're going to continue to try to take him out. And I think that if they had been successful, Biden would not have dropped out. But here we are. So if the Secret Service is urging Trump, I mean, I understand that. And having large outdoor rallies is part of Trump's, it's part of the strategy here. Jan says that Biden was pushed out because the attempt failed. I think so. I think you're right there. I really believe you're right. Angel says it's not a movie, it's real life. We allowed this. We are in a bubble. Trump doesn't do basketball courts, only football stadiums, says Roy. Yeah. So, with respect to this whole point, I understand. Having a stadium, it's easier to secure, it's easier to lock down. He had that big event at Trump Doral in Miami. It was huge. Tens of thousands of people. Now, a golf course, maybe a little bit easier to secure. It's his own property, for one. What happened in Butler, though? Who will ever forget that? Drop a comment. Where were you when it happened? I was just having a leisurely Saturday. Just hanging out with my wife. And all of a sudden, I get a notification that a Twitter X space was about to go live with some information about a shooting. And I said, what? I popped open my phone, and that's when I saw the video I'll never forget seeing. And I was like screaming. I was pacing in my kitchen screaming that they actually pulled it off. They tried to, at least they tried to. Steph, I don't know the answer to that one. CNN normally does not cover his rallies. Bay streamer from Rumble, he was watching Trump's rally live when it happened. Now, I have to admit, I don't watch all the rallies. I mean, I've seen so many rallies, and I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of times they're the same. He's got a stump speech, and he's delivering the stump speech, and you've seen the stump speech, you've seen one, you've seen them all. George, I watch your reports all the time. Awesome stuff. Please keep up the great work. Thank you, George. Appreciate that. We're on Rumble. Flo says, on my porch spending time with my husband and children, was taking screws out of boards to build a box for my goat milk stand. I was watching it live on YouTube, says Lynn. Carolyn, we were on our way to my husband's surprise birthday party. True World says CrowdStrike reset was to erase the put options placed on DJT. Stacy had turned it on just seconds before. Oh man, unbelievable times we're living in, folks. Absolutely unbelievable time. But I remember pacing in my kitchen, screaming that they'd finally done it. Thank God that he survived. Steph, you're asking about the shorting of Truth Social. I don't know. Is Obama in the shadow government? Well, I think yeah. He lives he has a house just down the street. He didn't leave D.C. like a lot of politicians do. A lot of the people that were in his administration are in the Biden administration. So call it what you will. Call it a shadow government, a shadow administration. The guy is still there pulling strings. And as we just witnessed the palace coup, Obama getting Clooney to write letters or greenlighting these letters to put more public pressure on Biden to drop out. The Pelosi factor, claiming the 25th Amendment, we're going to throw it at you if you don't bail out. I think this is obviously all orchestrated at the highest levels of the Democrat Party. The Obamas, the Clintons, and the Pelosis. All of them. So if you want to talk about like at a higher level when it comes to like a shadow government itself, like what is the shadow government? What is it? How do you define that? Well, it's really just individuals who are creating policy and organizing policy behind the scenes and putting it in front of Joe. I said the minute that he got into office, what was he going to be? He was going to be a puppet. Because I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did. I gave him 6 months. People were asking me, Gary, how long do you think that Biden's going to last? I said 6 months. Because I knew he was not capable of handling the office. They're just going to put paper in front of him. He's just going to sign it off because that's what he is. He just does what he's told. Don't worry, Joe. You'll get a couple extra scoops of ice cream tonight. So those are my thoughts. Back to the shorting of Truth Social. I mean, they came out later and said it was a glitch and those things had already been put in place. I honestly don't know. So it's really hard to say. There's just too many coincidences that surround that day of J13 that don't add up. And you truthfully need to have an independent, impartial investigation. You can't trust the FBI and the Secret Service to investigate themselves. Now, can you? The same FBI that's been, trying to go after Trump. The same DOJ that's been going after Trump for how long? It's sad, but that's where we are. You have people like Jim Jordan in the House Weaponization Committee. They're doing great work, amazing work. And a lot of times, and I read it in the comments when we report on these things, that, nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. But you have to remember that even though when they say we're going to refer this individual to the DOJ for a criminal referral, and then you never hear anything, it goes to a black hole to die. But you have to remember that the record is being made. When I do a report on it, and I connect the dots, play the video clips, present the information, it's there in the court of public opinion that we make the judgment. And that's, again, why we produce the news. Because, and I'll tell you this, when I was with the Super PAC in 2012, Congressman Paul, it was so constricting and limiting with all we had to report every moment, anytime we wanted to run an ad or do whatever. It was crazy. But during that time, we perfected our broadcasting and those things and took the energy from that moment and put it into the next news network. And of course, the momentum from the Revolution PAC grew out of the Ron Paul Revolution of 2008, which got its boost from Aaron Russo's film Freedom to Fascism. And I will argue that the timeline of events from Freedom to Fascism to the Ron Paul campaign to the grassroots of 2012 and the Super PAC of 2012 and the Tea Party movement, all these things dovetailed into what we see now in this populist movement that has come to a crescendo with Donald Trump. It's all tied together. So there's power in media and there's power in broadcasts. And that's why you see Fox News or you see CNN or MSNBC always pushing out these narratives, because they're trying to control the masses with their lies. And what do we do here? That we combat those narratives. We push back on those narratives. Every video we produce is designed to give you ammunition to counter the narratives. That's why we package our news product just like we do. It's for you. I'm here because the thumbnail Biden looks like the Slender Man. That was AI generated. No, I love messing around with Midjourney and some of the tools there. Now, going back to the accountability factor with Jim Jordan, House Weaponization Committee. They may not always end up in a conviction, but what they are doing is they're giving us the tools to extract from the public record to present the news and the proper narrative for you. That's how all these things work together. And that's why it's so important that we do the work that we do. And speaking of the work that we do, it's made possible by global gold investments, because gold prices have surpassed $2,400 an ounce this year. $2,400 an ounce. Reflecting a weakening U.S. dollar. As countries consider abandoning the OPEC agreement and U.S. dollar holdings, our national debt exceeds $36 trillion. Central banks are buying gold to protect the reserves, signaling average Americans to do the same. Protect your wealth with Global Gold Investments, America's leading conservative precious metals dealer. They offer a 5-year IRA fee waiver program on qualified rollovers and exceptional customer service. Call 888-700-4148. That's the number you see on the screen to receive a free portfolio analysis and a 2024 Insure Your Money Wealth Preservation Guide. Make sure you mention Next News for VIP treatment and so they know that we're reading their ads. Also, you can tap the link down below, IRAGoldproof.com, and begin securing your financial future. The sponsors make it possible. You guys make it possible. Steph, BRICS is creating their own currency. Yeah, we've been talking about that, watching that closely. It's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Bless the USA. 1, 2, 3. Amen. Amen, indeed. Let's check back in on the feed and see what else is going on. So the Secret Service is urging officials in the Trump campaign to stop outdoor rallies. Let's see. What is this? Oh, okay. Let's see what this is about. This is from Viva Frey. Is that how you say his name?
Representative
Frey. Viva Frey. Okay. Apparently, this is the bombshell from yesterday's hearing. Again, a hearing. We're just talking about the importance of these hearings. The hearing with Cheadle, and I don't fully appreciate the extent of its bombshelledness. Why would the Director of Secret Service be using encrypted messages with foreign partners? What? This clip is from RSBN. Let's take a look.
Law enforcement. Representative Boebert asked earlier about using encrypted apps that you said you have not used, I guess, Signal. Have you used any encrypted app to communicate from your personal device?
I do, on occasion, use encrypted apps to communicate.
So you use some form of an encrypted app to communicate with people within the federal government, with local law enforcement? Whom are you communicating using the encrypted apps?
Many times it's with colleagues and associates.
So you're communicating with colleagues on a personal device?
There are times that the Secret Service, when we work internationally with some of our partners, that they don't have the same texting capability.
And you're not able to do that with your government-issued device?
Recently, we have been able to install some of those apps on government devices.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the things that we can get access to. I'm actually shocked that you are using your personal device and encrypted communication tools. I think that might be the most shocking thing that I've heard today. I didn't expect for you to say that.
It happened to one of my...
Representative Boebert asked earlier.
Wow. Using encrypted communications with foreign partners? Really? Can you FOIA that? Or is it behind an encrypted barrier? Holy cow. That was 16 hours ago. Okay. Jack Posobiec says they held the Her tapes over Biden as leverage, drop out or release the tapes. He dropped out and they released the transcripts anyway. Ruthless. Let's see here. This is Speaker Johnson 11 hours ago blasting Democrats for not believing in democracy. Let's hear what he has to say.
The country. We're just over 100 days before an election. Democrat Party bosses forced Joe Biden off the ballot. They invalidated the votes of more than 14 million Americans who went through the small d democratic process and chose their nominee for president. The self-proclaimed party of democracy can't claim to be that anymore because they just steamrolled democracy and made a decision in a back room. And one thing is clear. If Joe Biden is not fit to run for president, he is not fit to run the country. We're stating the obvious. We're stating what everybody is seeing with their own eyes. And it's a hard truth, but it's one that the country has to face. Right now, we're facing altogether increased threats around the globe because of this weakness. We're facing threats right here at home, and we're sending the world a dangerous message. America needs strong, resolute leadership at this perilous moment. Joe Biden is not providing that. Kamala Harris is incapable of providing that, and we need to get November 5 here as quickly as possible. I would say this, and I've hastened to remind our enemies around the world, our adversaries around the world, that regardless of the chaos surrounding this White House, I want our adversaries to be reminded that the United States Congress, the United States military, and the American people are fully prepared and committed to defend our interests both at home and abroad, and you should not mistake the drama surrounding Joe Biden as any sign of weakness or any moment of opportunity for you.
Whew. What do you guys think about that? Wow. Let's see your comments. Biden's been gone for a year. That's why we're here, says Grandpa Cannabis. And where is the headquarters of BlackRock? Little bag is an encrypted device. Crooks had the FBI visit his home many times. Yes, Mimi, we brought that up. I'm not sure exactly if it was an informant or what, but there clearly is some tracking that's going on that we need to have answers to. Okay, let's take a look back into the feed here. Nine hours ago, did Kamala say we're not going back to a good economy, cheaper gas, groceries? What? And this is a repost comment from Kamala HQ.
America has tried these failed economic policies before, but we are not going back. We are not going back. not going back. We're not going back. We are not going back. We're not going back.
Oh, man. This is insane. This is just insane to watch.
Tried these failed.
This is insane to watch. She is so happy that she is finally getting her moment in the sun. Joe Biden's taking a back seat, already delegating his duties. That's all I can see on her face as she stands at that podium, giving the campaign speech, coming up with her little witty lines. We're not going back. We're not going back. To what? Low gas prices?
America has tried these failed economic policies before.
Well, which ones? Which one? Which one are you talking about, Kamala? Which failed economic policies are you speaking of?
But we are not going back.
Oh, yes, we are. Oh, yes, we are. Yes, Sir Galahad. Yes, 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 we are. True says, don't let Pornhub show up on your phone. You know, it's crazy. Sometimes what pops up in these feeds, yeah. You start scrolling through and like, yeah, you get shocked. Okay, so let's see. 12 hours ago, this is Lauren Boebert. Okay, that's an old ad. Alex Jones. The deep state has executed a coup. The last refuge. What is this? There's this. Where's this dude's video? Watch again. Focus on a tall guy with the red hat using a tree as a stabilizer. He filmed the whole thing. Where is his video? Well, look at there's lots of people here. There's this guy filming it. There's another guy here filming it. I mean, all these guys have got there's probably so much video from that day we haven't seen yet. And maybe these people are just too afraid to upload it or share it. They're like, "Oh, look what I got. This is the video from when I was there." Just sharing it with their family. I really hope that these people who did take all this extra video, that we can, I mean, you've probably seen some of the compiled videos of timelines of multiple angles all occurring at the same time. Excellent, compilation. But imagine if we had all the video and you could piece together each person. Like you see these diagrams of where the shootings took place, and where the victims are, where Trump was, where the shooter was. But imagine if you could also plot out where each of these camera angles was. You could have a absolute complete picture. A lot of the gaps would be filled in. It'll slowly leak on X first, though. Yeah. And that's what we're seeing over time. That's what a lot of what's happening here. 5 hours ago, Jake Paul announces he's endorsing Trump for president. Not surprised. He did that podcast with Trump, which was really good. Let's see. What is this? What? It's over? It ended? It says we're still live. I don't know. I mean, are we still live on YouTube and all the other platforms? I didn't see it on my screen here, so I don't know. I don't even want to click on this. This is just scary. But we have been live for a couple hours here, so we are going to have to wrap it up. 2 hours. Yeah. Adam says, I'm hoping for the same. It would make her ticket so toxic all the Democrat mega donors would pull out. Pick Elizabeth Warren as your running mate. That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Let's see here. Oh my. What? Dude, what is going on here? A fire in a gas station? Yeah, the guy runs on top of the... He's opening up all the vents on top of the tank. And then he throws... okay, so he was releasing the pressure of the potential gas that would be building up inside the tank. Holy cow. That's insane. Some drama going on in Mr. Beast's world, apparently. I was following that just peripherally today. Oh, God. That hurts. Let's see. Again, you never know what's gonna show up in your feed sometimes. Okay, Vigilant Fox. Elon Musk endorsed me, but has never asked me to lay off on electric cars. Does Elon Musk hate it when you bash electric cars? Well, I love Elon, and I have to tell you, let's see, how long is this clip?
They don't want to pay too much because we do it with common sense. I call it the party of common sense because 90% of the things we've talked about over the years, common sense, like we don't want all electric cars. You want an electric car, it's great, but not everybody wants an electric car.
Gary seems washed out today. Did he take a Vax? Ozempic can have side effects? That's hilarious. No, we were just yesterday was a very long day. So we decided to do something different today.
They want to go far. They don't want to pay China, or they don't want to pay too much because an electric car is more expensive.
Does Elon Musk hate it when you bash electric cars?
Well, I love Elon, and I have to tell you this about this. He endorsed me. Mm-hmm. He announced he's giving me $45 million a month, and yet I'm against certain electric cars. I love electric cars for people that want them, people that don't want to drive across the country, people that don't want to go long distances. You'd have to stop too much. But if you go back and forth or whatever, I think they have a great place. And here's the thing with Elon, it's amazing. And I keep waiting. He has never once, as you know, he endorsed me just recently. And I've been making this whole thing about electric cars and the mandate for electric cars, another mandate for the electric cars. And I'll tell you, he's never called me and said, could you lay off the electric car thing? Because I think electric cars are fantastic for certain people. So right now you're selling 6%, 7%. They want you to go to 100% all electric. And the other day I saw they built chargers, like a gas pump.
Right.
Someplace in the Midwest. They built 8 chargers. They cost $9 billion, and 2 of them don't work. Okay, $9 billion. Right. This country doesn't have enough. The whole world doesn't have enough money to... We don't have enough money to even think about it. It would cost $5 trillion to build chargers so that we could charge the electric car. And yet, under our feet, we have more liquid gold than any country in the world, including Saudi Arabia and including Russia. And we're going to start using it, and we're going to start paying down debt and lowering taxes.
Yeah. And the president talks about jobs all the time, the effect of jobs. If you go to 100% electric cars, everybody that's making carburetors, transmissions.
Yeah. Good night, Jules.
Traditional gas-powered cars are going to be out of the job. If you go to 100% electric, Pennsylvania and Michigan become economic wastelands, especially Michigan. Again, another reason it's important to elect President Trump. Drill, baby, drill. Right, drill, baby, drill. Right, it's such a simple line, but it's true. Like I said, we have basically unlimited energy resources. We just have to allow our own people to get it out of the ground.
And we do it with
Wow. Okay, so yes, one of the points we were going to make today we didn't really get into was Trump meeting Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago on Thursday. This is his post from his Truth Social account. He's looking forward to it. During his first term, we had peace and stability in the region, even signing the historic Abraham Accords, and we will have it again. Just as I have said in discussions with Zelensky and other world leaders in recent links, my peace through strength agenda will demonstrate to the world that these horrible, deadly wars and violent conflicts must end. Millions are dying, and Kamala Harris is in no way capable of stopping it. The Internet Hall of Fame.
This is how they serve our food to us at Karen's Diner. This is how they serve.
Oh, God. A little palate cleanser. What? Interview with Elon Musk isn't the time or place to tell your own life story for the thousands. What? Gain of Fauci. What? Trump gets a solo eagle while playing best ball. Solo eagle. What?
Yes! Oh, yeah. Get up there. Get up. Yes! Yes! Way to go. By the way, partner, do I even have to hit? Oh, my gosh. Okay. He was walking it in. 7-iron. Oh, be good.
Man, is that good.
Be good.
Wow.
Okay. I'll take that all day. Those are two great shots.
7-iron level. I'll tell you, when you're uphill, it's much longer.
It is.
You know, it's
But you hit a great drive there.
215.
I played it like 220.
Yeah.
That was kind of my thing. 210 to play 220. Do a nice drive around the green. Should be good. And then I had a nice 7-iron up there. You've hit it inside me a couple times today, actually.
This could be, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, look at that. I think you might.
Those are two good ones. It was more. It was more at the pin, but
I think you might be closer. Can you believe that?
who's closer?
Oh my goodness! Wow. What a shot! Nice.
That's great.
Well, eagle opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's get it back.
Wow! Look at these shots.
What?
Who's inside who?
I think the president hit inside me.
Oh my!
This is one of the greatest shots I've seen in a long time. Drove it to 4 feet. That's unbelievable.
What? No way.
There you go.
Wow.
Nice. He just walks off like a boss.
Wow.
Walk off like a boss, making eagles on par fours.
Wow. That was awesome. Well, folks, I'd love to hang out with you all night, but I do have to get some sleep. And I think we can leave it on that golf swing. That was a beautiful moment. Just drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this format. You know, just want to get out of the suit for a minute. Do something a little bit more casual, unscripted. Incorporate some technologies as, you know, scrolling the feed. That's what we call it, the raw feed. And of course, I got my little DeLorean here for you too. Go back in time. So, love you guys. Thank you for everyone tuning in and leaving your messages. Really appreciate it. You know, maybe we'll keep doing this format if we get some good feedback, and we can open it up and bring some live guests into the show. Maybe Angie will make an appearance. I know she's been dying to get back and do the lives with us. I know you guys have been dying to see the GCast return. We did stop that when we left for Florida during COVID, and we never picked it back up. So still got that platform to work with as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. It was pretty chill. Okay, one more question. 2 previous Democrats leading the RNC support Trump, but I watch him knowing his background, battlefield, the mind's eyes open. One question. You questioned the two previous Democrats. Okay. Wolf likes the format. Norma says it was awesome. Twisted Reality says that I rock. Thank you. Keep doing this more often. I love the interaction. It's great. Have a great night. God bless you. Take care from your friend in Poughkeepsie, New York. That was a Rumble message. Scott Edwards, chill. Outdoor janitor. Good night, Flo. Good night, Shore You. Susudio, what's up? Amazing format. More of this, please. Yeah. Well, if you like this format, press the number 1. If you don't like this format, drop a number 2. 1. I don't know if that kind of came out wrong. Brian's like, what? Yeah, no poop emojis, though. Okay, let's see how many ones we can get. Wow. Quite a few. I did see one comment. Someone didn't seem to care for the format. Well, I wouldn't say that, Brian. I would just say people are used to the. Oh, we got someone actually commenting on X. 328 views on X, 215 on Rumble. Still 1,000 people watching. Some ones from X. Yes, enjoyed the format. We did this before. We had a morning show we did that was live. What do we call that show, Brian? What was it called? Oh, I don't even remember the name of it. And we were experimenting with different formats. I definitely like how this chat is displayed. I think it's much better, easier to read. Yeah. Andrew says, I've been watching your channel for 9 years. I finally get to say you rock, bro. What's up, Andrew? 9 years, man. 9 times. Sashin says it will get better. Yeah, Jeremy says I forgot what it was called. Newsbeat Interactive. That's what it was called. Do the old and the new, says Derek. Brian's like, no, don't do the old. Well, yeah. Brian's like, you can open up your mic if you want to talk, Brian. Oh, yeah. Well, I think. See, there's a philosophy, and my philosophy behind the formal news format is that I'm trying to give people hardcore information in a palatable packaged manner so they can share it across the world. This is a little. I know it takes. Yeah. No, I mean some days it takes literally 15 hours. Steph says I've been with you for 10 years. It all started with Fukushima. Wow. Scott says watch you all the time. Mark says Franchi, cool to meet you. Been watching Gary since the beginning of the Trump administration. True world. This will clip really nicely as well. Yeah. I was talking with Brian about that, about trying to clip out some of the parts because yeah. Elizabeth from Indiana, what's up? New Zealand, what's up, New Zealand? Google is stealing from you, Gary, by demonetizing, which just means stealing. Well, what's even worse is that they're running ads on the form on a channel that they say that is not palatable for advertising. They're actually running ads on this channel, even though we're demonetizing, and they're keeping all the revenue. That's a fact. Yeah, you want to go over, we are monetized on Rumble. If you want to help us increase our views there, you can do that. So speaking of the format, when we first started this, we were doing streaming, and we'd stream the stuff live, and then Brian would just clip out all the pieces, and he'd clip out the pieces, and then we would upload those as individual news stories, and that was the format. So, what's that, Brian? That was fun. We were using the YouTube software for that, and that's really how we could produce as much content as we were producing. Oh yeah, it was 3 a.m. There was a lot of people watching. But of course that's when the algorithm was wide open, and there was no it was the wild west of YouTube, and then of course 2016 they blamed us for electing Trump, and all the knives were out for me with Chicago Tribune, Forbes, The Guardian, New York Times, Washington Post, putting me on the front page of their newspaper right after the election. And that's why they changed the algorithm. No, we don't use OBS True World. No. So basically, you were watching me broadcast from my game room. Yes, I have done that in the past. Yeah, we tried that. Yeah, the sound quality in there wasn't that good, so we decided to not use the format. I liked having the games behind me, but the table was a little low, and I don't know, just didn't. There was so much background noise. I guess this new software does probably would cancel out all that stuff. It's amazing. There's a fan blowing on me right here. I do. Oh. FF Neuben. I've been a podcaster for 16 years. Do you have any advice for independent journalists like myself going forward? I would tell you, get out of the business. Get out of the business. No, but I mean, I say that in jest, but it's a difficult business to get into, especially with the level of censorship that's taking place in the country. So, with respect to what to do, it's about the consistency and the frequency. And that's what I tell everybody who talks to me about YouTube. You have to have frequency and consistency and volume. What, Brian? Oh, and so what you need to do is, like, we were producing so much content at such a frequency that we were giving the algorithm so much to bite into and reserve to people, and it slowly built the channel into a unstoppable force. And that's of course why they had to lock down the algorithm, and until they figured out, oh, we can't let Gary Franchi elect another president from his YouTube basement. What's that? Yeah, I mean we were beating everybody back then. We were beating Fox, MSNBC. Yeah, I forget. I have the screenshots, but then they even pulled that. You couldn't find that anymore. They pulled that after we started promoting that we were number one. So, George, yes, George. So what I would say again, frequency, consistency is most important. If you're doing a podcast, if you're going to do it once a week, do it once a week. Let's make sure you do it once a week. Try to do it at the same time every day or every week, whatever it is, so that people become accustomed to the schedule and the routine, and they can't wait for your show to start on a Friday or a Sunday or wherever it may be. In our case, when we produce content for the news, we produce 5 special reports and 5 news briefs, and then we package that into a 160-minute piece, or whatever the case may be, however long it is, and then we stream that live after we've recorded it. So thank you, Jeremy, for making N3 great again. Give, send, go. Brian, you can pin that to the top if you want. That'd be great. So anyway, that's what I would just say. Well, bless you. Bless USA. 1, 2, 3. Niagara, Florida. In the house. Okay. That's the signal. I got to go. Definitely do. Yes, I need to get some sleep. Rico Khan. And there's the PayPal link. Thank you for that, Jeremy. I really appreciate that. So, time to go. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And Brian, you want to just take us out with some music? Maybe why don't you cue up the what's that song? The one, the fight for liberty. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that song. Yeah, you made that one, Brian. Yeah, you did good. You did good. This took us all day to put together, by the way, this whole format. Brian's already telling me what I'm doing tomorrow. I know, because Brian loves this. He loves this format. And I'm more of like a, again, formatted, scripted, polished. That's just, I like that format, but this is totally different. I get it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good night, guys. God bless. Love you.
Insight, where truth dared to roam, Gary Franchi stood tall in the light. He found home with a lantern held high in the dark of deceit. Founded a Lone Lantern Society, won't accept defeat. Raise your voice, light up the skies with the next news network where the real truth lies. From the reality report to the fight to be free, Gary's the voice in the fight for liberty. Russo called with a mission so bold to restore the republic to the days of old. As the national director, he took up the cause against all the tyranny without pause. Raise your voice, light up the skies with the next news network where the real truth lies. From the reality report to the fight to be free, Gary's the voice in the fight for liberty. Marched on the Fed, his voice loud and clear. End the Fed! For all to hear. In 2008, the movement grew tall. A pack for Ron Paul, Gary gave it his all. Raise your voice, light up the skies with the next news network where the real truth lies. From the reality report to the fight to be free, Gary's the voice in the fight for liberty. The lantern of light, Gary Gary Franchi, forever in the fight. With news that's real in a world so surreal, he stands for freedom with undone.